Lots of people are wondering, what's Gator Collective?
It's a team of talented athletes and passionate fans.
It's the playbook for our NIL success.
To earn compensation for our name, image, and likeness.
It's exclusive access to unforgettable moments.
This includes autographs, interviews, appearances, and more.
It's what connects Gator athletes like me.
And me.
And me.
With you.
So what are you waiting for?
Join Gator Collective today and experience Gator Nation like never before.
Gators Breakdown, because there's never a dull moment in Gator Nation.
All right, here we are on Gators Breakdown, a little bit special edition brought to you by the Gator Collective, of course. You heard all the messaging. You've heard all the messaging throughout the last year. Gator Collective, about a year old right now in this new NIL world of college football. And what a difference it's made for the Gators. Behind the scenes, of course, donations, big donations coming in, but we still need the fan donations. And all the access that it brings you closer than ever to your favorite athletes out there. Events are happening, appearances are happening, the Twitter spaces, you get to listen to those if you don't catch them live. Podcast out there as well, 84 Reasons from the Gator Collective with Ben Troop. So lots going on at the Gator Collective. And hey, look, we know how important NIL is in the world of college football. Not tied directly to recruiting, but recruits take notice. They notice the NIL deals happening out there. The Gator Collective going a long way in a fan-driven fashion to help support Gator athletes. So, look, if you want the Gators to be better, it's really just that simple. NIL's taking over. It's an important piece of college football right now, college sports right now. And, hey, look, Gator Collective's at the forefront of it. We can make it even better. So the link is in the description. If you want to join through Gators Breakdown, you can join there. You get access to so much. But coming up, big event, the Tailgater event, the night before the LSU game, October 14th. So that's next Friday at the Social at Midtown, 5 to 7 p.m. $20 for members to get in. Non-members, $30. Kids 12 and under, $10. And the list will expand, but for now, already confirmed. We'll start with the Gator Greats of Football. This is a football podcast. D. Webb will be there. Frankie Hammond Jr., Clifford Taylor would be there as well. And then you look at some of the other athletes at the same time. Basketball, Colin Castleton, Kyle Lofton, Marion Jones, Nina Ricards. You got some track and field athletes. Baseball with BT Ripel. And the list will expand. Expect maybe some coaches to be there as well. And look, I was at the last one when the night before the Utah game. And it was, really, really good. Fun time. You can check out some of the video there that I'm sharing, and it was a fun time. We got to see interact. Major Wright was there, D Webb was there at that one too. But you see all the interaction with the fans and the student athletes, and look, a lot of fun. Hey, look, Miles Graham was there too. Ernest Graham was there, and we'll see maybe some other recruits fly by this one for LSU. But it was a really, really good time. Got to speak with, Gator Jen. Everybody knows Jen there from the Gator Collective. She was there as well. Had some good conversations with her and interacting with her. I think it was the first time I met her in person there for the first time, besides all the Zooms and the Twitter spaces that we've done together. But you see a lot of former players, Adam Schuler there, Clifford Taylor. He'll be at the new one versus LSU as well. So lots going on, of course, at the Gator Collective, and just a fun time there had by all when we were there for the Utah game. So can't wait to be there at the Social for another one of these events. It goes a long way in helping the Gator Collective and supporting these student athletes. So it's a fun time. It's something different. And this is what this is bringing. The access is much better than we've had before. So, all right, coming up, just to expand the Gator Collective. Hey, it was the first Gator Collective Twitter Spaces we've had in a while. Billy Napier kind of slowed things down as the Gators started the season. trying to get everything. You're trying to figure everything out in his first year as Gators head coach. So now, as the season's kind of progressed and more of a routine now, has opened up the avenue of hosting some more Gator Collective Twitter Spaces. So the first one of the season, of course, Ricky Pearsall, Kingsley Eguakun, Desmond Watson. Really, really good, informative Twitter Spaces here. Like I said, it's the first one since the Gators have started this season, so you get a lot of look back at the season so far, other players they're excited about later on in the episode. Now, this is just a preview. You get about the first 30 minutes of this one. If you want to listen to the whole thing, join Gator Collective. They'll have it up on the website, of course. But you get to hear a lot from, Pearsall and Watson, those guys getting on the field a whole lot more. Watson, of course, has been a Gator, but those guys haven't played a lot in a Gator uniform, especially Pearsall, of course, transferred in. So you get to hear him how he's fitting in on the field of being a transfer. Then, of course, Kingsley up front as well, talking about that offensive line who has played really, really good this season. So, all right, the rest of the episode will be a preview of the Gator Collective Twitter Spaces. If you want the whole episode, go to thegatorcollective.com. Join. You can check out the rest of the episodes there. And, go join. Link is in the description. You can sign up through Gators Breakdown. And, hey, look, I hope to see you next Friday night at the social.
Welcome back, guys. We're back on Spaces. It's been a while. I think even before fall camp that we had a Spaces. We're super excited. This is Jen. We're going to, I think, try to do these every week going forward. And it might be, some may be on the Gator Collective platform. So make sure if you're not a member, join, because this is the way during the season, especially to get the access to the athletes, to have these one-on-one conversations. I wanted to give, I've got you here, a couple updates. The first is we were looking at some numbers. We've been launched for about a year now, and we've worked with 128 athletes. So that's more than 25% of the athletes at UF across 11 sports. So there's only 3 that we haven't hit yet, and we're working to get those guys on board as well. But that's pretty awesome, and that's due to your support and you guys joining and helping support these UF Gator student athletes. And the last thing I want to mention, LSU game. It is sold out. We're going to have a full stadium next weekend. Friday night, we are taking over the rooftop at Social, right there on University, across from the stadium. We're going to have current Gator athletes there, some former Gator athletes there. Come on out. If you go to our website, there's ticket information there. But it is the place to be on a Friday night before a game. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. And, don't pay the cover later. Just come hit us up for the happy hour beforehand and stay for the night. So hopefully you guys, if you haven't checked it out, go on our website, gatorcollective.com, and grab your tickets for that today. And then for tonight's event, we've got, we're partway through the season, we've got 3 guys who have really been impressing everyone on the field. We've got Kingsley and Desmond and Ricky, and we're super excited to have them here with us tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Chris and David to get some preliminary questions out of the way, and then once we get through that part, we'll go ahead and open it up for you guys to ask some questions and interact with the guys directly. So with that, I will turn it over to David Soderquist and Chris Yanes. Both guys, mention your podcasts. I know you both have podcasts or co-hosts on podcasts going on, so mention those, and we appreciate all you guys being here tonight.
Well, thank you, Jen. So for those that may not know me, I'm Chris James. I've actually co-hosted some spaces here with David in the past, and also currently a relatively new co-host with Neil Schulman and All Kinds of Weather. We do a weekly podcast during the football season where we drop about 2 podcasts a week. So definitely excited to be here again. David?
Yeah, absolutely, man. David from GettingSwamped.com. Getting Swamped, a podcast I started a while back. Really excited to be part of this once again with Chris, and ready to get these preliminary questions rolling and get some fan questions after that.
Sounds good. Well, I guess we'll just get right into it. Fellas, This weekend will actually mark the halfway point in the season. Obviously, we've had some really exciting moments throughout the season thus far. Just kind of opening the floor to everybody and giving them an opportunity to speak. What are some of the things that you've really enjoyed most about the season thus far, and starting a new regime with Billy Napier, and then maybe some of your favorite moments with your teammates?
For me, it's fun to just get back out on the field and have the opportunity to go represent the university and represent the team. And also, it's just great to see all the fans back out there and get to experience the swamp once again. But it's been pretty cool getting to get into this new offense with Coach Napier and getting to see what it's really like when we get into battle with him.
For me, I feel like most interesting to me probably learning from different people. I feel like all coaches got a different way of teaching, and I feel like it'd be very interesting to learn from Coach Spence and Coach PT, and then going out on the field and executing it, just seeing how well everything come together when everybody doing the right thing. So I feel like that's probably the best thing so far with a new staff for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of what King said. Just going out there and playing football just in general and having that opportunity to go out and do that, as well as experiencing for me as seeing new scenery and being in the swamp for my first time, because, I didn't get to experience that last year. So it's been a good time and experiencing all the tradition that Florida has here.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off that a little bit, what was it like last week? A lot of younger guys got to play, especially Jalen Kitna. We got to see a little bit of him. What was it like seeing some of the younger guys and none of the starters playing last week, being pretty successful?
For the O-line, I was excited to get to see all my young boys get in and get an opportunity to just play and get to showcase what they can do, because they haven't had that many opportunities this season. But I know they were really excited because we all were talking throughout the week about it, because we knew that they would hopefully have that opportunity. But it was exciting to get to see those boys get out there and do what they do.
Yeah, seeing everybody like look Chris, well, both Chris's actually, Jack, all them, Jamari, seeing all them, that's like the best time on the sideline, because you know how hard it is coming in as a freshman, trying to prove yourself and stuff. Just seeing them go out there and do the right stuff and have fun, it's fun to see. It's fun to sit here and watch and see like all the work they did come to terms or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, for me, I think it was really exciting to see all the young guys get the opportunity, especially for the fans, to see what the future holds for Florida as well. And then also it was good to see Kitna get in there too. And it was fun to be able to, catch the first pass from him. So.
Hey, what was it like taking that wide receiver sweep, man?
It was good. It's funny because it actually wasn't even designed for me, to be honest. Coach kind of just threw me in there, and I just went over there and I just executed the play.
So did you teach Richard Garage those funky dance moves or what?
Say that one more time. Sorry, you cutting out a little bit.
I said, did you teach Richard Garage those funky dance moves or what?
Oh, no, that was him on his own. I didn't even know he did that until I seen the replay.
Yeah, that was a funny gif floating around out there for a little bit on Twitter.
That one's going to live in eternity now in Twitter. Like, that's going to pop up every time something great happens in Gator Nation. But
and I do have to ask now with Kingsley, too. I think we've all seen that play. And those O-linemen were booking it down the field. I mean, I was shocked by how fast they were and how they were like right behind Ricky getting through the end zone. Kingsley, what was it like for you in that play? Is that something I know I see Shannon Snell here. He can probably relate, but what was it like for you on that play?
Well, I was just trying to make a play, go out there and do my job, really. But it just got a little extended, so it was fun. I got a little tired at the end, but it was cool.
Guys, I want to know kind of obviously with like your first year head coach and going through the season, everybody loves to see kind of the growth of the team. And I think we saw a lot of that this past weekend, especially with a lot of the young players, like you mentioned, playing. What are some of the things you've noticed since fall camp ended and the season started to now, where you've seen the biggest growth on the team?
I would say us just coming together and having each other's back when things might get a little thick, things aren't going our way, just reminding each other that we got each other, and at the end of the day, we just got to keep doing our job.
Yeah, for me, I feel like probably been trusting the staff and other players. I feel like that was a big emphasis on Coach like Napier's message throughout the offseason. And with the season only being halfway through, I feel like we done been through good spots and bad spots, and I don't feel like we ever like broke as a team or nothing like that. I feel like we all still communicated, in the right way, never like put anybody down or nothing like that. So I feel like the biggest thing is probably biggest difference is probably like having trust in coaches and other players.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, learning game from game. Even the losses we can take away and make them into positive things. And I feel like as a team that we learned a lot from them and just having each other's backs when it gets times get rough, like King said.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, kind of moving forward, looking ahead on the schedule a little bit, you got Missouri this week. What's something you guys are looking forward to with that matchup and where you hope to kind of continue to improve as a team?
For me, the opportunity to get our first SEC win of the season. That's what I'm looking forward to.
They beat us overtime last year. So I feel like everybody got that chip on their shoulder. And like Kingsley said, we still got to get our first SEC win. So there's a lot that go into it, not just that. So I feel like everybody got a whole lot to prove when we get on the field.
Yeah, definitely, I can agree. Just getting our first SEC win, and then also, I mean, it's just another opponent at the end of the day. It's a faceless opponent. We just got to go into the game like we always do, and bring a lot of energy, and just play our games that we know how to play, and that's when we play best.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of what Chris said, and I don't want to bring up bad memories or anything like that, but obviously, after a loss, we've had 2 wins, 2 losses, or 3 wins. My bad. What's it like in the locker room? I know you guys said y'all stick together and all that, but what's Coach Napier like after a loss? What has he said to you guys? Maybe that's kind of maybe helped you keep your head up afterwards.
Usually the message, or at least the 2 times that we've lost this season, the message has been that we just need to learn from the mistakes and we need to eliminate. There's 12 to 15 plays a game that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Just eliminate those plays and play a cleaner game, which will give us a better opportunity to win.
I feel like I can agree with Kingsley here. I feel like he always reminds us that it's a process, and he also reminds us that everything we do in the week is always going to come out in the game, like all the little things. He's a big detail guy, so he's really harping on like all the little things that we got to fix, and we try to correct it in the next week.
Yeah, I think he kind of takes our losses and tells us that it's a really good learning experience from us, because we can always take something from losses or wins, and just to create a game environment during practice and to treat practice exactly like a game and focus on those tiny minor details that can be major details in big time close games like that.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're thinking back to even like some of the losses this season, I think almost every game except last week was basically a 1-possession game. So I mean, it does have to feel pretty good considering. I know we've unfortunately suffered 2 losses, but we're in every single game. You guys are making plays. You're responding to overall adversity. I guess, what do you think is the difference as we go forward in the season? We've been trading wins and losses where we can maybe get on a run here where we string together 2, 3, 4 wins in a row.
I think it's just going to come down to making sure we're executing at practice and doing the right things at practice, because like what Ricky said, everything that we do when nobody's watching is going to show up when everybody's watching. So I think it just comes down to just leaders being stricter and just handling business during the week.
Yeah, like you said, the losses that we do have, you say it was all close games and stuff like that. So I feel like that just goes back to the little things. I feel like everybody got to come together and hold each other accountable on the little things, and I feel like we'll be straight.
I think it just goes back to looking at film and seeing that a lot of times we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. And there's a lot of plays out there that we left on the field where, 10 guys doing their job and one guy maybe mess up the play or do not do their job correctly or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's more about everybody, working together and making sure everybody does their individual jobs. And then, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to switch it here to offensive line. Kingsley, this one's for you. The offensive line, they've been pretty good through 5 games. The team as a whole, they've only given up 0.8 sacks per game, which ranks 13th in the nation. They're averaging 195.3 rushing yards per game, which is 24th in the nation. How much of that is just a testament to the players and the coaches around you and the work ethic they all have?
I think we've had our two new coaches, and plus everybody else, like the whole support stuff has been great. I like the way they coach us, and they definitely push us to be better. But also, like this off season, the O-line, like we worked together a lot, late nights and long days, and we just made sure we had our rhythm together. And we're still improving on that right now. But I think it was just really the work that we put in this off season together that has correlated to what the games and what you guys have been able to see. But we still got a lot to improve on, I would say.
What do you think the areas of improvement that you guys are still working on?
Me personally, I think we can run the ball better. And like you said, we've given up whatever amount of sacks. So that's obviously not fun. So we just need to lock in on that and make sure we don't give up anymore. And just clean up technique things, the usual.
Desmond, I guess we'll switch gears to the other side of the line of scrimmage. With the defensive line, you certainly have made some of your fair share of plays this season. I think everybody remembers the big tackle, shall we say, in the USF game. What have you been impressed with thus far, some of the guys that have stepped up on the defensive side of the ball?
I would say everybody holding each other accountable. I feel like we all got good communication, and I don't feel like it's anybody on the defense that can't be talked to, like in a way of telling them like to improve. I feel like everybody can take coaching from anybody on the defense. So I just feel like people let go of their egos a little bit from last year, and it's easier to communicate and tell the person what they got to do without it being a fight or something like that.
Definitely. And I think this side of the ball, the offensive line is a little bit more veteran laden. We've got a lot more guys on that side that have returned, but defensive line, definitely a lot of younger guys are playing. So who have you been impressed with, maybe some of the freshmen that have played thus far, like guys like Chris McClellan, Justice Boone, we've heard also Sapp. What do you think of their efforts thus far, playing in their first real year on the defensive line?
Boone and Sapp in my class, I feel like we all came up together, so it's not a surprise at all whenever they go and make plays like that, because like I said, we all came in together and we worked together and stuff like that. But with Chris, whenever he goes in, he definitely makes plays. We try to make sure he always knows his stuff. I feel like he gets a little freshman treatment all the time, so he's always ready. You always gotta treat him or be more intense with him, because you never know when he's gonna get a shot. He always gets in the game. I think he got in every game so far, and you just gotta. Everybody's excited for him. Whenever make a play, everybody's excited for him. He usually does that whenever he gets in the game. So I feel like everybody on defense is excited to see him go out and make plays and the progression he's made since he got here.
Can we, while we've got you talking, can we talk a little bit about that play that it pretty much went viral? Like, I think I saw it on ESPN, where you just flung that USF running back. What was it like? Like, did you realize in the moment that was going to be what it was? What was your impression of that play?
Nah, I didn't. I made the tackle, and I knew it was a tackle for loss, so I was excited about that and stuff like that. So, when I got up, I heard the crowd a little bit, and then boom, if you saw the video, boom, I'm going to push me over the dude, and everybody was all hype and stuff like that, and I let it replay, and I seen it look a little bit different, but at first I just felt like it was like a routine tackle. I was happy that, I got in the gap and made the play, but that's about it.
Yeah, and then UF slowed it down and put it in slow-mo on their page, so that it just took off from there.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson throws footballs and Desmond Watson throws people. So for all you guys out there, just remember that. This one's actually for Ricky Pearsall, speaking of Richardson. I know you guys spend a lot of time in practice, probably you and Richardson, some of the other tight ends, wide receivers. How much time do you guys spend with Richardson, maybe outside of the practice field, not even if it's like working on your game or just kind of like, hanging out or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we all hang out as a receiver group and with the quarterbacks. I feel like we're always in the building, though, so there's not that much like hanging out time. But when we can, yeah, we definitely hang out. And we talk ball, but there'll be time where we just chill and, catch up and talk about our lives and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't want you to give away the playbook or anything, but are there like certain plays offensively that us fans we haven't seen yet that are coming up?
Yeah, there's new plays really every week. It just depends the game plan. Depends the opponent and what they're running. So it could all change at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed that sweep you took to the house last week. That was enjoyable for me to watch.
Well, trust me too.
Guys, I want to switch gears a little bit and ask you. Y'all remember the life now of the program without the facility that we just finished building, but how has it changed since y'all have moved in? It's become a part of the day-to-day operations of the football program. How have you seen the efficiency change and just overall the improvement in the program because of it?
Yeah, the new facility has been really nice. Everything's just there, so it's not really too much moving around or having to walk across the street, and how the old deal was walking to practice and stuff. So it's just been nice to be able to go from one place to the other relatively quickly and having our food right there and having parking right outside.
Yeah, I feel like everybody really appreciative, and like I said, since we got the facility with all the stuff that we really need in there, like Ricky said, we basically always in there. It's a huge building. I feel like everybody always so close and stuff like that, and to do it efficiency, like he said, instead of the walk across the street or whatever, is right from the locker room. Put your stuff on, and you on the field when you step out the door. So yeah.
Yeah, well, the old facility was new for me too. So when they opened the new facility, I was like, oh, okay. And then everything is there, so you really don't got to leave, like with sauna and all that stuff. Like whatever you can think of, and any kind of recovery stuff that you can think of, it's there. And I'm big on recovery, so I really enjoy the new facility. It's definitely a blessing for all of us.
What's everybody's favorite feature? If you had to pick one thing.
I think it's probably the hot tubs. We can just walk in the hot tubs now because at the old facility, we used to have to fill it up, and it took 30 minutes to fill it up, but you only need to stay in it for 10 minutes. For me, at least, that's what I like. And the cryo tank's pretty cool too.
I feel like different position groups got like different favorite features, I guess you should say. But for me, I like the sauna and the hot tub. Like on that Sunday after the game, the hot tub gonna do it. And then like whenever you walk in the locker room, you'll see like a certain position group or something like that. I feel like the specialists be in the massage chairs a lot. So like I say, different position groups got different favorite features of the facility.
Yeah, I mean, I would start by saying probably our position meeting room, just because the receivers didn't really have a position like meeting room for us in the last facility. We just used like the team room. So we finally got a new position room, and then I mean, just the training room in general, because all the cold tub and the hot tub's all right next to the training room as well. So just in that area, that entire area is probably where I'm at the most.
And we're going to open it up to some fan questions here. I do have one more question for you, Ricky. I know before you transferred here, you said one of your big reasons was that you wanted to come to the SEC and prove that you could do it with the best. What has your experience been like now playing in the SEC? On the biggest stage, in front of the biggest crowds? How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, especially here at Florida, with all the tradition and, all the love all the fans show. It's definitely different football from the Pac-12. So, I mean, I'll start by just saying that and how much of a blessing and how thankful I am for that. And then, football is football at the end of the day. So I don't think the football part has changed for me. I'm just still playing my game, and any opportunity comes my way,
And now I think we've got a question here from College Football Headlines.
What's up, guys? Thank you for pulling me up. I just got a question for all three of y'all tonight. If y'all had one funniest moment from any coach this year, what would it be? Because I know y'all have a lot of fun out there with Billy and co.
I think the funniest part for me is when all the freshmen had to do a skit, and basically what they did is they just impersonated like all the coaches. It was super funny. They did a really good job with it.
For me, like all the coaches got all like their catchphrase. You be around enough people enough, what they're gonna say when they're gonna say it. So I feel like walking around here like the players impersonate, whether it's Coach Hockey or Coach Napier or Coach Spence. I feel like that's probably the funniest thing.
Yeah, I agree with Des. I think when everybody impersonates Coach Hockey, that's the funniest thing.
Do any of you guys have an impersonation of him?
Kingsley got it.
Kingsley, go ahead.
Des got it, I think.
He's putting you on the spot.
Nah, I don't.
Nobody's gonna do it.
Don't be bashful now. Let's go.
Hey, they're trying to get us in trouble now.
Awesome. We've got Gator Josh has a question.
Yeah, I just had a question for the guys. Just what was your biggest adjustment coming into the program, whether it be from high school, different school, or coaching staff, but just your biggest adjustment that you feel personally that you've noticed or had to deal with there? And I appreciate the time for the question. Thank you.
I would say, because I play offensive line, really just getting acclimated to the size of the guys and also their strength was probably the main thing that needed to be worked on. So getting in the weight room and really improving on getting bigger and getting stronger.
Yeah, for me, coming out of high school, I don't feel like I never had any problem with people being stronger than me or bigger than me, obviously. But I feel like probably the speed of the game, you get your play and you got to know it like the back of your hand. And then, like y'all mentioned earlier, how fast the O-lineman was running, I got to do a reach block from Kingsley all day. So I definitely feel like the speed of the game was probably my biggest adjustment. And always being on the schedule and stuff like that was probably my biggest adjustment.
I think coming from a different school, the biggest adjustment is, number one, probably not being away from home, because when I was at ASU, that was my home, Arizona. And then another thing is just learning the playbook, because that's a whole other playbook that I learned. But I really didn't have too much of an issue with it, just because over at ASU I had to learn 3 different playbooks in 3 years. So it wasn't that too bad, but that was probably the biggest.
I like how Des casually drops there that, I don't see many people as big as me. Have you been against somebody as big as you?
I think my sophomore year of high school, we played Crestview. And they had the biggest line. They look like a college, but I still think I was bigger than most of them. So probably not. I highly doubt it.
I think one of you mentioned something about the strength program, and I'm curious, how does the strength regimen change from the off season to the middle of the season?
During in-season lifts, it's more maintenance things. I think we have one day during the week where they want us to go about 90%, 95%. But it's more maintenance things, and you got a lot of guys who are banged up from games, so you can't really do too much depending on what the lift is. But off season, it's full tilt, all go. So I would say that's the biggest difference between off season workouts and in season.
Right, like Kingsley said, a lot of people be banged up from practice. Practice is just as intense as the game to me. So, a lot of people be banged up. If you're trying to go lift weights and run and stuff like that, like you do in the off season, I don't feel like it's going to make it any better. So during the season, we try to focus on recovery and still stretching and type of stuff like that. So we're not as banged up.
Yep, just like what they said, just recovery stuff, maintenance stuff. They still want us to keep our speed, so we'll do 90% speed stuff, like Kingsley was saying, with Coach Tiger Jones, and we'll just do maintenance stuff.
Is that speed training something different, or have you had that at? Did you guys have that at other schools? And has it made a difference?
Yeah, I think everybody has their own philosophies on like speed training and stuff like that. But yeah, I think all of them pretty much work. But yeah, there's some differences, but there's a lot of similarities as well.
And now I think we've got a question from Only Gators.
All right. First of all, I just want to say how proud of y'all we are, and we'll always support you. But if you had to pick, who's got the best dance moves on the team?
Hendo. Xavier Henderson.
Yeah, I'll probably say Hendo too. You know, he's from down south, so everybody likes to see the little Florida boy dances he be doing. So that's probably it.
Yeah, I'd probably say Hendo, Khalil, or Shah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Khalil and Shah. Definitely,
yeah, that was nice too.
Yeah, for sure.
And now Hendo got the baton this weekend, so we got to see some of those dance moves. What's the backstory with that baton?
I think it's just Coach Tiger Jones wanted to, start a new little tradition, and when you score, because I feel like a lot of other schools have their little tradition that they do when they score. And what he says is that you strike up the band when you score. So you get the baton and you strike up the band.
Awesome. We've got Benji's got a question for you.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go Gators. Hey, quick question. So in the locker room pregame, what's Coach Napier like? How hyped does he get? And then which coach would you say hypes you up the most or the most energetic pregame? Right before in the locker room, right before you're about to run out.
Coach Napier, he's not I don't know how to say it. I wouldn't say he's not energetic or enthusiastic or something like that, but he definitely knows how to get his point across without yelling or screaming or punching the door or something like that. So I feel like he definitely can get you ready without all the fanatics. So he's not too much of a jump around type of guy, but he could definitely get you ready to go and get you hyped and stuff like that. But answer your question about who's the most intense is easy. Coach Spence, Coach Chaos. He got the nickname for a reason. I can definitely say that. Can't really say what he says in the locker room because, but I definitely say Coach Chaos takes the cake.
Yeah, Coach Napier keeps a pretty even head before games.
I think we've got OBOG question.
Hey, Jen, thanks so much for putting this on, Gator Collective, you guys. And not really a question. I just wanted to tell you guys, man, I love what I see. You know what I'm saying? Super duper proud of you guys. Coming from me, I don't know how much that means. Obviously, I'm just a fan. But, Saturdays is one of the brightest spots of my week, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got a good life. But I love to watch you guys play. And appreciate all that work you guys put in for the orange and blue, man. And wish you the best of luck this weekend. Go Gators.
Yes, sir. We appreciate your support. Go Gators.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Go Gators.
I feel like I appreciate that too first, but I feel like it means a lot coming from anybody, even if we might not can put a face to a name. But even if we don't respond, it still means a lot. Any support is good support because we all see bad stuff coming from other people and stuff like that. So any support is good support.
So there we go. Good preview right there of the Gator Collective Twitter Spaces. Really enjoyed those guys. Some other players hopped in throughout the time as well. Marcus Stokes, Gator quarterback commit, ended up jumping in. Ventrell Miller jumps in as well at one point. So go check it out. Link is in the description. You can join through Gators Breakdown right there for the Gator Collective. Plenty of events coming up. And one more time, as a reminder, not before LSU on October 14th. That Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Rooftop, the Social at Midtown. Tickets, $20 for members, $30 for non-members. Kids 12 and under get in for $10. Come have some fun with us. Come have some fun if you're in Gainesville that Friday night before LSU. Stop by, say hello. at the Tailgater event through the Gator Collective. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Gators Breakdown, brought to you by the Gator Collective. Go make sure to check out the Missouri preview. Get a good look at the game coming up this weekend for the Gators. And everybody, thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gators Breakdown, brought to you by the Gator Collective.